Um, if a baby is born ill or suffers from severe pain and he doesn't understand what he's paying off, how would you or what would you call or how would you reconcile what's the matter behind it?
These are very good questions. I'm pleased that we asked Sujit Bhai to ask the question. They are very, very good questions. And I think a lot of people in the lot of viewers are struggling with these ideas. If you see an innocent child suffering with some serious illness, let's say, just born and suffering, because we are Hindus, we immediately say, oh, the law of karma is taking effect, the poor chap, he must have done bad things in his life, so that him, the poor chap is suffering. This would be the immediate response of an average Hindu. This is terrible, terrible. How dare you blame this baby for the sufferings undergoing? Don't you realize? What happens to the young child is not the result of just his action, but a lot of other things that combine together and produce that illness or the sickness. A lot of other things have all, don't you notice, look, in your own lives, the amount of effort you put in and the result you get is strongly influenced by a lot of other things, whether your parents were able to pay the fees and send you to the top school, or whether your mom helped you with the homework. All these things had to kind of influence and in a way interact with you before you produce a result. Your own contribution was perhaps trivial, literally 1%. 99% is the environment and other features that in a way infringed on you and your situation. In the same way, when somebody is suffering, somebody's got illness, somebody's got disabled, if you blame that person and say, you deserve it, this is terrible, don't you do that, don't you ever, Hindus, don't you ever dare do it, you don't understand the law of karma. Infinite things almost happen, combine together produce one result. And the contribution of that individual may be very trivial, very little, so don't blame the poor chap. Never vilify anybody in that manner. Never look down on anybody. This is the mature idea of law of karma. So I'm saying a lot of things are adding together where your contribution is also important, but it's also minor, recognize it. So don't blame yourself, don't be indifferent to your own suffering or indifferent to suffering of others, saying in the name of law of karma, nobody deserves it. That's the first part. So be very careful about how you express the idea of law of karma and do not vilify or undermine anybody. Second part is very important, I like this. You see, I can see the heart here kind of getting grieved that here is Ramakrishna, here is Raman Maharshi, both of them suffer from cancer. You might ask yourself, did they do bad karma in the past life? They are getting caught out? Oh no, my friend, this is the answer. In reality, neither of these individuals, despite the thing, oh, I got pain here, despite that, neither of these individuals felt the pain. I say, oh, they didn't feel the pain, they had cancer. One in the throat and one on the shoulder. Oh dear, no, don't you realize? These people, when they touch base with the spirit, the idea that I am the Atman, I am the spirit, they are established in that state throughout. Once you touch base with it, you can't let go because you discovered it, it can't be undone, you're done. Once you do that, physical suffering appears so trivial. It's like a little mosquito bite or something, it hardly hits them. So please do not go under the, have you seen, when you see some of the films in the Hindi films used to come with bhaktas, all these Prahlad and suffering and crying, you say, oh dear, poor, I don't want to be a bhakta. In fact, that's what my reaction. I said, these are terrible, these guys undergo such severe testing. I'd rather not go through that process. Have you noticed all the bhaktas? They cry and they get leprosy and they get everything until they sing to Mother Goddess and things sort out. I don't want to go through that whole process. I said, I don't want to be a bhakta. I'd rather be an atheist. I used to be frightened of all these films. They show the poor heroes undergoing such suffering. You say, oh, look, reality. When you look at all these great bhaktas or the great saints or the great prophets of Hindu religion, let me tell you, let me guarantee you, they did not suffer. How can they suffer? They've tasted the bliss. They are above it. So all this is just make-believe, a little bit external. They make a show. Oh. And one day Ramakrishna was telling one of his devotees, you see, I fell down in this hand, because this guy used to go into meditation while he was walking sometimes and would topple over. He broke his arm. So they put a bandage, a plaster or something. And he used to go around and tell one devotee, look, it's painful. The devotee said, painful? It's not painful, is it? He said, you rascal, you caught me out. He was playing along. They do not feel. So don't ever think, oh, these poor people, they must do that. Why do they suffer? They don't suffer. We suffer. Because we are stuck with the body. And the bodily problems bother us. These people are beyond the body. their own suffering. Don't you for a moment think that, what suffering? Once you tasted Atman, you suffer. What's the point of getting the Atman then? They don't suffer. We are caught in the trap. Until we are linked to the body, we pay a price. But once you've broken that link, that price is gone. You don't have to pay a tax for the body, as Ramakrishna said. You are beyond. You get offshore account. You don't pay tax.